Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad to be joining you. Very glad that you're joining us. And listen, I can tell you, being a member of this community for as long as I have, it's very exciting to see when we come together to celebrate those people that are sometimes forgotten, to celebrate those people that are really making a difference in our lives every day, risking their own lives and their families. We're going to talk a little bit about Hero Fest, but I'm glad to talk about the gentleman here. Sheriff Tim Saunier joining us. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Keith.
So very glad that you're here. Sitting next to him, Chief Travis Terrio. Very glad you're joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Next to him, Major Brent Hidalgo, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. Brent, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Keith.
And so, Tim, this is one of those things where, again, we talk about it all the time. The people that are being honored don't really want the honor. They don't want to be called heroes, but we've got some significant heroes in our community.
Yes, sir, we do. And first of all, the whole idea, over the years, we've had several fundraisers because of law enforcement or first firefighter or anybody's emergency, and we've always had pass the hat and have a plate lunch or do something to raise a little money. The whole concept was to have one big event. So for those type of situations, we're able to help our first responders very effectively and faster than coordinating something, especially when they need the funding right away.
Right.
So that first idea, but then over the last 5 or 6 years, all of the events that we either sponsor or involved, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that are heroes that do a lot of good things in our community.
Right.
So the concept was put it all together. Other nonprofits that do great things for our community, they get to participate and raise money for their cause. We created a venue that allows us to raise money for our cause, so everybody wins and everybody can be highlighted.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where if we could just do it all together, create a little bit larger pool of money, if you will, it takes a lot of resources to be able to plan these out, but a lot of resources are needed in the area. And so, Travis, how about for you guys? When y'all find out about these kinds of things, what's your first reaction?
It's really awesome. You go back to when we had the hurricane. You have all of our different first responders working together. And we always say, look, we could do more if we work together, and that's really what's happening with Hero Fest. You have the Sheriff's Department, the Houma Police Department, the Fire Department, Acadian Ambulance, all first responders across the parish. And then whenever you start bringing in all your nonprofits that are already doing great things, it's just a win for the community, and we get to showcase a lot of our heritage. We go all the way back to the traditional food items and things like that, to the modern day things that our kids love so much. And then you compound music with it. It's just going to be something like Houma's never seen before.
Okay. And listen, we like to bring new things to our community, right? We're always looking for something new and different. So, Brent, for you guys, I know the sheriff's always so very involved, but the sheriff's office really makes a strong impact on making sure that we're doing those community-type events and the leadership with that. How do the people in the sheriff's office feel about being a part of Heroes Fest?
Well, our guys are heroes, and, police department, fire department, our medics, every hero in Terrebonne Parish, and our guys are always grateful to step up and help somebody who's in need, especially somebody that maybe lost a loved one, or somebody sick, or somebody just can't afford it financially.
Right.
And we always first to step up and organize a fundraiser, and like the sheriff said, this is just our way to maybe do one event, make it a little easier, and support everybody.
It's one of those ways where we can kind of precede what some of the needs are going to be, right? Instead of waiting and doing something, we call it post facto. Instead of doing something after the fact, thank you, Jay, I appreciate that. It is going to take place Friday, September 22nd through Sunday, September 24th, the Bayou Piedmont Civic Center, 346 Civic Center Boulevard. Again, it's Hero Fest 2023. It's an inaugural event. Thank you, Jay. And we're going to come back to that. We're going to talk about all the things that go in with that and what people can expect. But when we can pull together great leaders in our community who are honoring the other leaders in our community, right? Those people that are the heroes. And I'm glad you brought up the nonprofits, because very often those are the people that are really working very, very hard, and you never really see what they do unless they come on and talk about that, or unless somebody shines the light on them. And they don't really like the light shown.
No.
They just want to do what they can do. But this, kind of like you and Brent said, it allows us to kind of pull this money together to have available, because we know we're going to have those emergencies. We know we're going to have those people that are in need. And now going back to some of the older way we used to do things, giving some of those older foods out, that's just really cool to be a part of.
Yes, just bringing back some of the nostalgia from Lanyap.
Yeah.
Mixed with the Fireman's Fair in Thibodaux.
Okay.
And making our own creation. But, you know, the most important thing is becomes a community event where everybody's involved.
Right.
And there's things like this bring the community together. And I think it's important for our community to come together. Because, I mean, it doesn't take a tragedy like Hurricane Ida where everybody pull together.
Right.
You know, we can celebrate some things for great causes to come. And prepare that. So I think this is a good event for our community.
And what a great idea, too. Instead of, and you know, I love that idea where Lanyap meets the Farmers Fair, right? Where Lanyap meets what they do. And this is one of those things. I love the fact that we're always kind of thinking outside that box, if you will, thinking outside that typical event protocol where we're saying, how about we do this? How about we find a way to say thank you? We find a way to say, come and support us. We find a way to say, these are the heroes in our community, and this is something that we can do to celebrate. And instead of kind of playing on, we've had this tragedy, we play on, let's celebrate. Let's have some fun together. Let's really enjoy this, and let's talk about where the money's going to go. You know, one of those things that I always ask the question of, where's the money going to go? I'm fine to help donate. I'm fine to help raise money. I want to know where the money's going to go. For us, it's all right here in our community for people that need it. So if you guys wouldn't mind sticking around, we'd appreciate it. We're going to talk a little bit more about Hero Fest. You guys do that as well at home. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, right here on Bayou Time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. We appreciate that you are. So very glad to have with me Sheriff Tim Saunier, Chief Travis Terrio, Major Brent Hidalgo. Guys, Hero Fest is something that I think we're going to try and help redefine what events are like here in Houma and in Terrebonne Parish. This is something really, really exciting. It's going to take place at the Civic Center. Let's talk a little bit about what people can expect. Tim, what can people expect here for Hero Fest?
Well, we're going to bring back a lot of nostalgic food, the Cajun cuisine that's out there.
Okay.
And I think food draws people.
Yeah.
Music, local music, but a lot of varieties of music. And,
Okay.
of course, the fair rides that children like, and
Yeah.
all of the candy apples and the cotton candy. But then you can get a fair burger. You can get, I think, shrimp spaghetti. We have different
Wow.
varieties of food that people like.
Yeah.
Here, and like with Lanyap, people
Yeah.
travel all over. So we wanted to have that big combination
Right.
where there's entertainment, there's a flavor for everybody. There's even be some crafts. So
Okay.
there'll be a little bit of entertainment for everybody.
Okay. Travis, what are we going to start with on Friday? What do we have going on?
So Friday night we have the Po' Boys with Caleb Laperouse.
Okay.
And he'll be opening up for the Kings of Neon. So we're going to kick off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to
Okay.
start off with the most important thing, prayer and presentation of colors.
I love it. I love it. Here's our lineup right there. Go ahead.
We have some of our parish leaders up there speaking and wanting to thank everyone for coming out, of course.
Right.
And then Saturday we're going to start off with a 5K run that Major Hidalgo is going to go to in a minute. But just our band lineup on Saturday alone, we're going to have Tony Badgeron Band.
Right.
We're going to have Casey and Johnny.
Right.
Cliff and the side piece. Then we have a live auction starting at 6:30. That's going to go till 8:30. Then we're going to have the Cane Breakers opening up for Louisiana LaRue.
I mean, how does it get better than that, right, from a musical lineup?
And then on Sunday, we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to
Okay.
have some Swamp Pop. And
Okay.
we're going to have We and Mrs. Jones,
Right.
Travis Mott, and the Kingpins.
Right.
And closing it out with Rough and Ready by 8 o'clock that night.
Okay.
Just
Wow.
in time to get all the kids home and ready for school the next day.
Right. And so we're talking about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a great lineup for music. You've talked a little bit about the food. Brent, let's talk about the run. We're always glad to have a run associated with these festivals.
Keith, first off, we want to thank our sponsor for our run. That's Terrebonne General Health.
Yeah.
Registration will be Friday afternoon, and
Okay.
then the race will start at 8:30.
Okay.
Also registration Saturday morning.
Okay.
That race will start at 8:30, leave the Civic Center, Valhalla, through Sugar Mill Point and a route, and come back. If anybody's interested in the 5K run, we have it on our Facebook page.
Right. They can see it right there, facebook.com/Terrebonne Hero Fest. Or they can go to the code that's right there on TV. If you're interested, I recommend right now signing up for the 5K. It's going to take place Saturday, September 23rd. As Brent mentioned, you can sign up on Friday, or the race is going to begin at 8:30. You can do it in the morning of 8:30. Go ahead, Brent.
Other than that, we're just praying for great weather.
Right.
And it's going to be a great 3-day event, and we just urge everybody to come out and support us, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and again, Hero Fest is something that I think is going to help redefine how we do festivals here for two reasons. One, it's a great time as we're coming out of the heat, hopefully getting to a little bit of cooler weather. We can feel it a little bit, right? We're starting in the 70s here occasionally. Go ahead, Travis.
And also with our auction, we have some original items.
Okay, talk to me.
We have a signed baseball by the LSU baseball team on a Omaha World Series baseball.
Holy cow.
Donated by Gavin Dugas and family.
Wow.
But the LSU baseball team has signed it. So
that's a fantastic auction item.
That's a one-of-a-kind piece. So
Yeah.
you got your number one draft pick signing it. So
I love it. Number one draft pick, and it's signed by those people, two number ones, number one and number two.
And let's not forget our local hometown
That's
hero,
exactly
Gavin.
right. Who is a hero in so many ways.
Yeah.
He has given back all throughout his years at LSU, and now we continue to see him doing that.
And through his family as well.
That is correct.
Really great people.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so I'm glad you mentioned that. So all of our LSU fans, you certainly want to come out. It's going to be a heck of a time. Again, Jay, put that back up. I want people to know where they can come. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 22nd through September 24th. It's going to be at the Civic Center. Again, the Barry P. Bonvillain Civic Center, 346 Civic Center Boulevard. You'll see it because Tim had mentioned earlier, the sheriff mentioned, so many rides, some great foods, some look back at a wonderful musical lineup. And look, if you just want to get a little music in on Friday, that's great because they got some great things happening on Friday. Saturday, if you love music, you want to be at the Hero Fest. Fantastic musical bands. And then we finish with Canebreakers and Louisiana's LaRue. I mean, there's no better way to finish a day on a Saturday than that. And then we've got we and Mrs. Jones, we've got Travis Mette and the Kingpins, and then also Rough and Ready on Sunday. Slow it down with a little swamp pop, a little Cajun music right there. It matches the theme of all this great music, all of this great food, and really getting back to some great fun for a great cause, helping so many different people. Because I work with so many other nonprofits in the area, I'm as excited about honoring our heroes as I am about helping fund these places.
And we'd also like to let our veterans know that the VA is going to be out there. They're going to be making sure that they have the ability to offer any resources that are needed. And we're going to have a lot of booths that are going to have informational things as well, going all the way down to our youth with life jackets and different things.
Right, and Joey's program there.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. But again, so many of these organizations that really spend a great deal of time and energy in the community where they try to raise money individually. This is one of those ways to do something big and really say thank you to our heroes for all of those heroes and to really be about those people. I love the fact that we're respecting and honoring the veterans. We at HTV feel so very strongly about that, and we have so many people who are veterans who need the help and so many veterans that help. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate for what you do today, but also what you do in the community every day.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. And that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on HTV.